And we are live. We're back for another week of Tatts and Tarrasques, or, as it may soon need to be renamed, the Dragon Daddies, or the Dragon Defenders, because there's a bit of contention in the party. If you watched last week, you know that when we last left our heroes, they were deep inside the Underdark, ostensibly chasing down a stolen item, which they have found, but secondarily they had been tasked by a red dragon named Themberchaud, or Emberchad, as he's affectionately been relabeled, to find a red...
was silent.
yeah, to find a red dragon egg that was stolen by the Ghostblades. They were tasked by the Great Red Dragon of the Port of Grim. However, his handlers, his acolytes, his personal assistants had also asked the party to bring the red dragon egg to the priests and not to bother Emberchad with it, and that they would be able to take care of this egg a lot better, and to go directly to them. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
I want $200.
They promised you much better than $200. They promised you free parking.
Oh, okay. Revalidation for life.
That's right.
Screw that dragon egg.
A third option has emerged with Pauly the Parrot crowing loudly about being raised as an egg himself, wanting to raise this egg and completing the circle of life. However, Winfred, the protector of the forest, the protector of life, the mother bear of the party, had the view that the egg belonged with its own kind, and specifically its progenitor. As the bear and the bird were getting a little bit into a bit of a fracas, shall we say, Sorn stepped in, grabbed the egg, and teleported away above our dear friends here, over near the obelisk that sort of dominates this room. And that's where we begin this week's session. Who would like to start?
I will allow. I'll leave it up to
you.
No, I think Sorn should start.
Okay.
He's got the upper hand at the moment.
Literally
He has
and
the
figuratively. I'm above. All right. Oh, I just got to get into the mindset of last week. Basically, I appear at the obelisk, I place a hand on it, and I yell down to the fellow compatriots. If you choose to continue to argue without giving this proper discourse, having a proper conversation, and working this out together fairly, I will leave you here.
Right, well, Pauly's going to kind of just yell a bit and just like scream, more in frustration. Not that, that's happening, thingo, but it's just annoyed. So he's going to be like, fucking, okay, fine. That's fine. This is fine. And then some deep breaths. And then he's going to do a little happy dance. He's going to do a little happy dance just to kind of like calm himself down. And he's going to kind of just look towards Winfred and go, we're not done here, mate.
Winfred's gonna walk off toward the stairs over here.
You hear on the stone the slow plodding of padded feet, or I guess two sets of slow plodding padded feet as the cave bear Chewy takes one look at you, Pauly, and it's hard to read his furred face. Not a lot of emotion in that bear's eyes, but he looks from you to Winfred, and then slowly starts walking after Winfred, past the owlbear that's sort of stripping flesh off some of the Duragar corpses, just giving a bit of a whoo as you bypass it.
I would like to make one last I call it a persuasion check. I'm gonna go past the owlbear, and I'm gonna, in my bad owlbear accent, I'm gonna try and appeal to the owlbear and say, "Would you like to come with us or not? Or stay here and eat Duragar in caves, or we can take you back to where you belong."
Okay, give me a persuasion check.
Yeah.
Or I'll accept animal handling.
Yeah. What did I roll? 13.
So 13.
While he does this, I'm going to fly up to Sorn as well and just try to talk to him quietly.
So the
I
owlbear.
am on the defensive.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to go sniff the egg.
The owlbear kind of looks at you, looks at the other bear, looks like up and around, does like the owl thing where it turns its head a little bit too far, and then kind of looks back and just goes back to eating.
Okay, I'm leaving without him then.
All right. Sorn, look, what do you want from this? I'm confused. I thought we talked about this. No one disagreed.
I never put any word into this, but I agree that we should return it to its parent. We do not have the means to raise a dragon. I believe it would take a very long time from raising a dragon to it becoming anything more than a pet. Would take a very, very long time, and every single day that we have it, we are at risk of being attacked by a large dragon, which we do not have the means to defeat.
Sadly, you've cut out, or my internet has gone to crap. So I missed that last part of what you said.
I heard him, so I think it was you, Timmy. He said that. Or do you want to give it to us again, Dill?
I basically said, I believe we should give it back because we do not have the means to raise a dragon, and every day we keep a dragon, we are at greater risk of being under attack by a fully grown dragon.
I'm with Sorn on this one.
No, fuck off, you little shit. I'm not talking to you. We're not done still.
You two make up.
If you were even half as smart, if you were even half as smart as our sorcerer friend, this would have gone very fucking differently. You're right, Sorn, but we, like Winfred, we are not fucking done. And then I'll just walk away. I'll walk towards the obelisk.
So you walk to sort of one corner of the obelisk. Sorn, you've got a little bit of space between you and Pauly, and you've got one hand on it. Pauly, as you get close, you can kind of raise a Talon up and put a hand on it as well, if you or sort of lean on it. As Winfred and the cave bear come across the bridge itself. Sorn, you're sort of cradling the. I know I said like a tire size, probably more like large watermelon-esque kind of shape.
Yeah, I've got it like in one hand, and then my other hand is just rested on the obelisk. And I just want to say, like, I look to, like, I'll back up as Winfred comes over the bridge to like here, just a little bit back, and I want to I'll look to Winfred and I'll look to Pauly and I'll say, this is done. This argument is done. There was a misunderstanding, but you do not fight your friends. I don't care who has to apologize to who, but this is done. Otherwise, I will give you the time to make it done.
You can sort of see as Sorn's saying this, Winfred's kind of looking a little bit sorry for himself, kind of like he's disappointed in himself, and sort of tries to avoid eye contact with both Sorn and Pauly.
Once again, I didn't hear that last part of that. Sorry, the internet's really bad here.
Winfred's just like doing that avoiding eye contact thing that children do when they're in trouble.
Right, okay.
Cool. So you're all sort of standing around awkwardly. The bear is sort of snuffling at.
Oh no, Pauly's not awkward. Pauly's not feeling awkward. I'm not going to be silly about that. I'm not feeling awkward about it. I'm
Okay.
pissed.
Yeah, he's not playing coy.
Sure.
No.
But it is still an awkward. Well, I mean, any outsiders, such as people watching, any cave lice that are watching, see sort of an awkward standoff. It's that moment after Mummy and Daddy yelled at each other at the dinner table, and Uncle Sorn had to tell them both to calm down in front of the children, and that they're setting a bad example. And now there's that sort of silence before someone asks sheepishly to pass the cheese across.
Could you please pass the
The
pass the
parmesan.
gravy boat?
Yeah, pass.
Um,
could you please pass the dragon egg?
I will I'll switch hands with the dragon egg so it's like more towards the obelisk and turn that side away from those two, and I'll just say to them, I believe we give it back to Themberchaud because I don't trust the priests. I've seen what priests and their kind can do, and I don't trust them. I believe we give it back to the parent and let the parent raise it as it should be. Collect our reward and deal with whatever we have to from there.
If we aren't raising it, those dwarves aren't raising it. It's going back to Themberchaud.
So we're in agreement then, and I'll look at Winfred.
Winfred's kind of like sort of half paying attention to what Sorn's saying, but mainly he's tending to Chewy, and I'd like to use one of those health potions that I had. I think it was like a greater health potion or something like that, just to bring Chewy back up to full health.
Sure. Do you want to roll the greater health potion for me, please?
What's the roll again?
Greater health potion, I think, is 44 plus 4 off the top of my head. And if it's in
Yeah.
your inventory, you should know what it is.
4d4 plus 4.
Yeah, no, I think I forgot to put it in when we all did.
How convenient. I also have
so
20 health potions.
9 plus 4 is 13.
Cool. 13. So you administer the health potion, greater health potion to Chewy. Already, sort of, you see some of the wounds on his flank kind of re-knitting. Some of the the hair that was kind of separated, growing a little bit, not back to full length, but sort of nice little stubble. The magical properties of the potion doing their dark work.
I think that's the only one that I had. I think we all got one each. We just need to know.
No, we had 4.
Yeah, we had 4
we got 4 each. Okay, so I'm just going to add it in now. So I've got I think 3 left.
Yeah. As this is happening, I'm just going to once again, I've got the egg. I'm just going to say, are we in agreement that we go to Themberchaud now?
Yep, let's do it.
We get this done. All right. And then I'm going to walk back over to the center of the obelisk, right dead center. I'm going to tell Pauly and Winfred to place a hand on my shoulder each. And tell Winfred to place a hand on the bear.
I sort of do like a chain thing between the two people.
Yeah. All right. And then based off my roll, that 21 last week, I'm pretty certain I'd be able to activate it.
So yeah, you're pretty confident you'll be able to activate and tap into the space warping properties that the obelisk is currently going through, but you'll need to fuel it with some sort of magic.
Yeah. I want to, because it doesn't. All right. I want to pump a fairy fire into it and try and use some fey magic to activate it.
Okay, so using your sort of racially inbuilt magic of the Drow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because I've already got my hand on Sorn, I'm gonna say to Sorn, I'm like, here's something I learned from Thorendir. and and then I say like, I close my eyes and I'm like, taking doom, and zap Thorn with bolster magic.
All right, that's a 1d3, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think
So you can get one of your spell slots back, or you can get
do you want to roll the 1d? Are you so you choose
Yeah,
the
you decide what I get.
you choose the benefit and you
no,
roll the
no,
dice.
it's I'm 100% sure because we've been through this a couple times now. I'm 100% sure it is it is your choice, not mine.
No. As an action, you touch one creature and confer one of the following benefits of your choice to that creature.
Oh, right, okay. Of your choice, right? Okay. I guess it's an extra
Because
D3.
it depends what kind of magic you're funneling into his
Yeah. I mean,
his
we're
sweet elven skin.
still pretty well rested after that fight, so I'm just gonna say like roll a D3 on an ability check. I hope that helps.
Alrighty. Yeah, well, I'll just pump a. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the next 10
Very
minutes, you can roll a d3 whenever making an attack roll or ability check and add that to your roll.
Yeah. So I'm
Like
gonna cast Fairy Fire on the section of the obelisk that I'm touching.
Sure.
And yeah, because it's a 20-foot cube.
Oh yeah, it's more you start tapping into that racial magic, the fairy fire within you, and you're not necessarily casting the spell. You feel the energy of the spell itself travel through your arm as that conduit, and actually, sort of the fairy fire itself starts lighting up and outlining you, Pauly, Winfred, and Chewy, and the egg, obviously, that you're holding in the other hand, and sort of coalesce around you, and is creating sort of an outline. You can kind of feel under your fingertips the obelisk start coming alive, and whilst it feels like the room is shaking, or at least nothing is actually moving. What are you imagining? Like, where are you trying to go?
I'm imagining just inside of the room where we met Themberchaud.
Mhm.
Like inside his hoard room where he's sitting and like looking over his gold and everything. I'm imagining that room.
Yep. Cool. Let me just pull this up. Mm-hmm.
And with that, we just used a tower from Diablo 3 to leave a dungeon.
Yeah. So the magic, the colorful lights dancing around all of you outline you and outline each other. You can all see the outline around each other, and then all of a sudden the world around and behind you goes black, and you're just silhouetted by this by these dancing lights, this fairy fire, and all that is there in this sort of void is you and the obelisk. And then all of a sudden there's a rush of heat and light, and as if being sort of snapped by a rubber band, you're pulled into a room full of flame and heat. You
Should
find
I
yourself.
roll for wild magic, considering this obelisk fucked with me last time?
Hold on, let me see. No. So you feel the pull of this, but with the anchor of Sorn, he's sort of mitigating a lot of the energy and filtering that through. You're sort of more anchored onto him. You're not a direct conduit of this thing. You feel it sort of lessened compared to when you passed through it last time.
I will, as soon as we appear in the room, I'll take a couple of seconds to make sure that everyone's come through with me. And just say, all right, let's handle this, and just start making my way, like beelining to the dragon.
You start making your way in. There's sort of a crack of thunder and noise, and the Duragar priests, all dressed in sort of red and black robes, rush over to where you had arrived, and sort of meet you, I guess, halfway towards Themberchaud's sort of domain within this area, and they say, "Oh, you're welcome. How did you should have been announced. You can't come in here unannounced." But you.
Can I do something
As we start to see them, can I? Yeah, as we start to see them, can I go stealthy?
If you would like to, yeah.
I'm
I
gonna
wanna-
Yeah.
I'm gonna look around for Chewie. I'm just gonna look at my head around, making sure he's arrived okay.
He has. I just didn't bring him.
No, I know. I just don't know. I just like Winfred can't see him, and then he sort of just like appears by his side. You know how a dog just like,
Yeah.
it's there. Yeah. Oh, there you are. And he starts walking slowly toward Themberchaud.
Yeah, so you start making your way down the sort of path, the windy path.
Did my stealth roll
towards-
come through then?
I didn't see it, no. The Keepers of the Flame,
Okay.
the Duragar who sort of tend to Themberchaud and sort of see that his will is done.
That was a natural dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Hasn't come through yet, but it'll come
it's
through
not doing my
eventually, I'm
virtual
sure.
tabletop.
Yeah, that's all right. Sort of they see you walking up briskly, Sorn, and sort of stop you for a moment and say, you can't see Themberchaud right now, but come back. You should have been stopped at the door. You've returned. We must debrief you, of course.
No, I don't think that will happen. I don't think that's the case. And I will just continue walking. But as they I'll walk up to them,
Mhm.
like straight up to them, and I'm just going to let out magical darkness.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay I'm gonna say probably about 40 feet behind Sorn. So my whole movement behind Sorn. Whilst he's doing this. So I'm keeping a loose pace kind of thing.
So I'm going. Yeah, I'm gonna put a non-magic. I'm gonna put my magical darkness here, and I'm just gonna walk straight through them.
Okay.
So they don't see me pass by.
All right, so let's resolve some of this. So as you summon up this globe of magical darkness, there's sort of a shock. There's a cry of alarm from the Duragar as they are all sort of bathed in the darkness as well. They lose vision, and they yell, we're under attack, and they sort of reach blindly to try and grab hold of you. Meanwhile, Pauly, you mentioned you were stealthing about to where you had arrived at the entrance.
Yeah.
What exactly are you trying to do?
Essentially, I was going to distract them, but the darkness seems to have done that for me. So what I'm going to do, being stealthy, I'm going to try and tap, if I can find them, try and tap each of the dwarves' shoulders to scare them, and then just pretend like there's a fucking army of us.
So you follow along in Sorn's footsteps, I guess, with Winfred, and dart into the globe of darkness. Give me an attack roll with disadvantage, because you can't see either, right? So
no.
Oh, actually, no, they can't see you, so it actually balances out. It's actually a straight up. Just give me a regular kind of attack roll, as if I'm not saying you're actually gonna hit them with Talon, just to make it easier.
Oh, I was gonna just poke them with Talon, as in not actually hurt them. You know what I mean? Just poke them.
Yep. We'll see how well that does.
Still
in
being
the
a bit
darkness.
funny.
That's right.
I might actually need someone else to roll Talon for me.
Okay.
Yep.
If you've got your virtual
Second,
tabletop
just being
open,
a bit-
oh no, everything you've got in D&D Beyond, don't you?
That's right. I've rolled
Yeah.
it for you.
Okay.
So that's 24. So describe to me what ostensibly you're doing in that darkness. You have no problem, based on the sounds of their alarms and where they're, you can hear their footfalls. You hear the soft steps of Sorn as he kind of steps past them, which leaves you an opening to sort of fly through.
Yep.
And you're just tapping them on the shoulder.
Yeah, essentially, I'm tapping them in sensitive parts to make them yelp. You know what I mean? And just scare them a bit.
So Sorn, you feel them sort of rush to try and grab you. It is going to be at I'm going to say it's a disadvantage. Can you give me a acrobatics saving throw, or an acrobatics check, please?
Yep. Do I have to do that at disadvantage as well?
No, because I'll say it's your darkness. I think it's probably you're kind of a little bit more ready for this.
That's a 19.
Yep, and the D3.
And yep, slash roll 1d3. That's a 21.
Okay, so this is interesting. You feel one kind of grab your cloak. One of the 4 Durgar actually get hold of your cloak, but then there's sort of a tingle up through your spine of Winfred's magic, and all of a sudden you become sort of translucent for a moment, and the fingers just pass right through your cloak.
Very
and
good.
You come out the other side unimpeded.
I will then, as soon as I get out the other side unimpeded, I'm just going to make a dash and cross the bridge and just yell to Themberchaud, "We have your egg. We've returned it. This is what we're doing."
Yep. So cool. And Pauly, do you stay in the globe of darkness? Where are you going?
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna keep him. I'm gonna keep him like as much distracted as I possibly can, so Sorn can do what he needs to do.
Yep. And Winfred?
I'm gonna like walk up to this thing of darkness and be like, no thanks, and then just go and walk back behind this this rock here.
Before he runs off, can I also poke Winfred in the butt?
No, because you can't see where he is. You're inside a globe of
Yeah.
absolute darkness.
That's what I know. Remember you had said I could hear
he's out of
footfalls.
sight as well.
Yeah, you hear the bare footfall stop for sure.
Yeah.
And,
I'm just gonna like poke like me and Chewie just like poke our heads around the corner. Just
yeah. All you see, Winfred, is an inky marble floating there in the air, and you can hear a lot of almost sort of Looney Tunes-esque cartoon. Ow! That's my, that's my arm. And then it's not my arm. And I'm sorry, but I'm trying to find the Drow. You have a very large Duragar. And it's like, oh, don't grab me there. And then giggling. I assume giggling from
whilst
Pauly.
they're yelling out, I want to try and imitate their voices. I'm like, I think you went this way. And as I say that, I want to like, kind of like hide under the bridge here. Like, I'm not sure if that's like somewhere where I can like just like duck under, kind of thing.
It's extremely warm, but you could try.
It's a bit warm. Yeah, it's a bit hot.
It's a bit hot.
But yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to try and like distract them and be like, I think he went this way.
Give me a deception check.
I'm really bad at these, but
And you're saying it in common?
Huh?
You're saying it in common.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking bear to a bunch of fucking humans.
They're not humans, they're Duragar, but sure.
Yeah.
Undercommon.
We'll see how this goes.
That's a natural 20. I rolled that on my D&D Beyond page. I'm happy to take a photo of it for you if you really want.
I can see it. Well, I'm
Yeah,
not.
I thought it would come
I
through on
trust
the
you.
thing, but it did.
But I could go check if I had to, but I won't because I'm lazy. Now, natty 20. What does that give you as an actual number?
20. I get it 0 to deception, plus 0 to deception.
Okay. The reason I ask is because if you had a -1, it might have been a different story. But you hear the Duragar in.
I sent it to the group chat so you know I'm not talking shit.
Yeah, no, I trust you. I mean, the thing is, like, at the end of the day, the game's not fun for you if you're, if you were to do that kind of stuff. I don't think you would do that kind of stuff. I don't think anyone would do that because it just undercuts the thing. Lesson for you at home: don't cheat because it undercuts the fun. The bad rolls are just as fun as the good ones.
Oh, the bad rolls are so much more fun than the good ones.
To see more of that, go to Mr. Brightside on TikTok and you can see how bad rolls can be the most fun. Right. So yeah, you hear, Pauly, you hear sort of the stomping of feet and swooshing of robes as in Dwarvish tinged with Undercommon, you hear we found him. He's this way, and so they start marching, or trying to make their way out of the globe of darkness. You hear one or two of them bumble into a wall, and then eventually some others make their way.
I'm just gonna move these tokens under this bridge here. I want to try and hide under the bridge.
Well, you give me a stealth check as we go over to Sorn, and Sorn, you've sort of left the globe of darkness behind, and you've sort of spoken out to Themberchaud, and you hear
an 11 for stealth, and I'll
come back to that in a sec. That's fine.
Okay.
So Sorn, you hear You have returned, and the egg, I can see and smell it. You have done well, little elf. What boon do you ask of the Themberchaud? And he's sort of leaning back. If you remember, or if I can re-describe Themberchaud, he's sort of a big, obviously red dragon, adult red dragon, but he does look a little bit portly as far as dragons go, and he's sort of lounging languorously on a massive pile of coins. You can see all sorts of treasure, jewelry, gems, and even some sort of magical item, or what must be magical items. From your position here, you can just make out, bits of cloth or bits of metal. And Themberchaud says, part of my promise was that you would get free passage wherever you want to go in the city of Grim. No dwarf here will impede you. And he sort of reaches forward with a big claw and touches you on the lapel, Sorn, and you feel sort of a bit of a burning mark etch itself into your cloak. And it's sort of it's almost like a little flame decal, a little flame band patch that gets knitted into your cloak.
I was expecting like fire hands.
I get Guy Fieri.
Can you?
Yeah, is my cloak now?
That's right. And he sort of reaches forward to wrap a talon around the egg and drag it towards him.
I will say for myself, I cannot speak for my companions. They are here, but they are currently dealing with your priests who tried to steal the egg away from you.
Yes, these priests, they serve me, but they do not. They serve their ultimate master is the Low King.
Can I hear this exchange from?
Oh yeah, it's booming. Like
yeah?
the
I'd like to call out from across the room, be like, "Oh yeah, I'm helping."
As you're like midway through this conversation, some of the priests sort of get to you, Winfred. They easily spot two giant bear people trying to half wiggle
being like Winnie
under
the Pooh
the
in a
bridge.
tree.
The little stub tail wiggling in the air. And then they're just like, oh crap, and then they sort of sprint back through, brushing past or underneath Pauly in the globe of darkness. Pauly, what are you doing during this time?
If I hear that the egg's already there, I'll probably just fly directly up out of the globe of darkness, and then just kind of bomb right down next to Sorn.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you land down next to Sorn. The dragon sort of hooks the egg in closer and kind of pulls it in under one of its strong muscular arms, and sort of looks at the two of you and says, "What better reward than I heard that surface dwellers, especially you, look like the type would love nothing more than cherry, unopened anime figurines."
Motherfucker's got injection molded.
But I can give you the next best thing. And he sort of pulls a bag, sort of a small sack close, and throws it on the ground in front of you, and it kind of opens up. You hear the tinkle of metal, and inside are 4 sort of brass tokens, and engraved on the tokens, it says Fantasy Bunnings Gosh Upon 1 token.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I will grab the bag.
As you're
I
picking
will.
up, oh, sorry, please continue.
I'll hand a token to each Winfred and Pauly, and then just put the bag, affix the bag to my belt for now. And I will say out loud, there are 2 in this bag. We will deal with them with the extra later, and say it looks like we have a situation to handle, and point back behind us. And at this point, I'll also drop my darkness because it is concentration, so I'll just drop it.
I just want to retcon one tiny little thing. As Sorn says, we have something to deal with. Winfred's still like running up the path, but in a way that he's like barged past the priests, which is why they're strewn all over the side of the path here, with Chewie and Toby like, "I'm here, I'm helping. Hi, this was my idea."
I'll flick, yeah, and as Winfred's running, I'm not going to flick him a coin because there's a lot of lava here. I'll wait. I'll place it in his hand. I'll place it in his paw.
Oh, thank you.
The priests sort of rush up and they say they're like, oh, Themberchaud, of course these outsiders have returned the egg. We asked them to make sure that they could bring this in. Now, if we may, of course, we'll take the egg to the safe holding space and make sure that no ghost blades could get in. We'll redouble our efforts of security. And you hear Themberchaud say, "Silence," and all the dwarves sort of cut off. He says, "Do not think I didn't know what your plan was, silly Duragar. You live.
You're full of shit, Duragar.
Only because I allow you to live. You procured this egg to replace me. You thought I was growing too strong. You wanted someone weak to control. I know what happened to my predecessors, but I will not be defeated so easily.
Sorry,
Your magic wanes as I grow older." And he lifts up his claw and crushes the dragon egg. And it cracks and breaks and is just the pieces of shell go everywhere and the light goes out. Says,
I'm gonna fucking stare right at Winfred.
Says, "I am the only flame of Grim. You will not replace me with a weaker version of my kin. I see through your magic, silly dark dwarves, and as I grow older and stronger, it wanes. So you will redouble your efforts to bring me treasure, and I will grow stronger. The deal has changed. I am not merely a pawn for this city. I am a player."
Does anybody know that shot in Jaws where like he sort of comes to the realization and it zooms out as he's zooming in? I want that mental image in your mind when you see Winfred's face drop when he crushes the egg. And he stands there stunned.
He says, "Good job, my little outsiders. We have done great work today. Take my token and my blessing in the city of Grim. No dark dwarves will impede you when they know you are marked by Themberchaud."
Sorn is visibly angry.
Pauly is like not actually angry, just like completely emotionless staring at Winfred. I'm going to look at the coin that was given to me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to flick it right at Winfred's head and go, your fucking money's no good here. Yeah, you earned this one. And then throw it right at Winfred's head and just walk out.
The Duragard don't stop you as you walk past them. They're sort of like conferring with each other, and in sort of a huddle. You catch snippets of Undercommon and Dwarvish, but they definitely seem to be worried.
I will.
Yeah, Pauly's just going to keep fucking walking. Like, straight up. Like, I'm going right back to the ship. Or actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the place where we got the provisions for the weapons.
Mhm.
If I can find that. That's where I'm going to go.
Sure. All right, so Pauly heads out, leaving Sorn, Winfred, and Chewie standing there. Sorn, a little satchel on your belt with 2 Goshapon tokens in it. Winfred, one in your paw and one on the ground at your feet after it bounces off your muzzle.
Winfred sort of like bends down to pick up the token and hands them to Sorn and says, I don't know what to do with these.
I can hold on to them.
Okay, thank you. And he just hands them to Sorn.
I'll place them in the pouch as well. I will also just look at Themberchaud and
Themberchaud just gives you like as he goes to he says, "You may leave now. These dark dwarves and I need to renegotiate our terms."
Sorn is very angry, but knows that he knows when a situation is beyond him. So he'll turn around and just say to Winfred, we need to leave. I don't think it is safe for us here anymore.
Okay.
And
Winfred sort of just like mentions to Chewie and starts walking off. Like I don't have anything to add. I was going to add something sort of like in the third person, but I'm just going to stay silent.
Yeah, I will guide us out. And as I walk past this priest here, I just want to say, like, under my breath, it seems he played us all, and just keep moving.
Yeah, he tries to give you a like in Undercommon, like we tried to tell you to give it to him, but you're sort of away at that point. Like you only catch sort of half of it, I guess. As you sort of make your way up, you see sort of Pauly's silhouetted at the cave entrance and then disappears into the thick smoke of the city of Grim as you and the bears follow in suit. So Pauly, you're up on the in the top area. You barge past a couple of other of the keepers of the flame who didn't see you go in and are sort of a little bit sort of taken aback that you were in there.
Yep.
But they don't stop you by any means.
Pauly's going to basically just kind of fly the second he sees, he's out of the thingo, and find a dark laneway and throw up.
Sorn.
Just throw up.
Yeah, so you fly up, and it doesn't help that as you get a bit of height in this place to especially get over some of the walls and some of the buildings, you're just choked by thick smog, and it, your eyes hurt and are watering, maybe because of something else, but also maybe it's the thick smog, who could say. And you eventually kind of find a spot between a couple of market stalls, between a couple what look like sort of big forges, and are able to land down. Meanwhile, Winfred and Sorn, you make your way up to the top of the stairs towards the entrance of Themberchaud's lair, and Pauly is nowhere to be seen.
I'm just going to say to Winfred, We had a few things that we had to take care of in this city while we were here. I believe we should take care of that and then take some time.
Winfred's just gonna nod. Sorn, you can see that Winfred's got like tears welling up in his eyes. And he just nods and follows you, and Chewie follows Winfred.
As we pass, like as I walk past Winfred, and as I'm saying this, I place a hand. Like I try to place a hand on his shoulder, but he's quite a bit taller than me. But, like I place a hand in like the middle of his shoulder blades, just like I get it, buddy. I get it. What have we done so far that we had to do in the city?
What we needed to
gone
do
for
was get the
provisions.
weapons, and yeah, and they said to come back in like a few hours. It's already been a day at least because we slept.
Yeah. Did we
So
have anything else
everything
on
should be on the ship.
Okay. Well, I'll just.
They said they delivered onto the ship.
Okay, I'll make my way towards like a. Is there like a artisan or a crafting like area to the city where like tailors and those sort of people would be?
Yeah, absolutely. So you are able to make your way through. You actually get stopped at one of the gate walls until the guard sees your lapel and then just kind of waves you through. And you're able to sort of get out of the southern part of the city and into the greater market district. In here is a lot more of the hustle and bustle of the town. Specifically, it's close to but not quite on the water. And you walk through the Blade Bazaar. You see a lot of the same stuff you'd seen before. A lot of merchants, haggling their wares, shouting out deals, and so on. And everywhere you go, sort of thick plumes of smog rising out from various sort of industrial buildings. But what are you looking for in particular?
Particularly, I'm looking for a tailor.
Yeah, eventually you
Oh
find...
yes, after making sure a baby dragon's dead, let's go shopping. I feel a bit peckish.
No, I'm not going shopping. I'm doing the things on my list and I'm fucking processing internally, motherfucker. You forget Sorn's evil as well, like... Sorn's seen some babies die. He's not happy about it, but he knows that there's nothing he can do currently. So he's ticking off the things on his list and has an idea in his mind that he's going to go with once that list is done.
Yeah, you find one of the stalagmites, or what you thought was just sort of a large stalagmite. You notice has a hollowed out look to it, and inside you do find a drow, what appears to be sort of a drow-run shop that has sort of a spider web sign out the front, and then sort of what looks like sort of a bolt of cloth as a symbol. And you're able to sort of go in, and they greet you, but not like overly like, oh, hello, friend. It's just sort of they look at you, eyes narrowed, and no effort at customer service here. They're just sort of like, what do you want?
I'll walk up to them and greet them in like Elvish.
Mm-hmm.
Say I have a few wares that I think you might be interested in.
Oh, and what usually we're selling, not buying. What do you have?
I have some magnificent spider silk dresses,
and
I'll take out like the bundle of 5 of them and like unfurl one and just show it.
Yeah, so the male kind of looks at it, dresses it, smooths it out a little bit, holding one of them up, and then sort of gently putting it to the side, looking at the other one, and give me an insight check.
Insight. Come on, that's a 17.
You see you catch for just the glimmer of a second, his eyes go a little bit wide when he looks at one of them, and then sort of seems to go look, cover it and kind of put it down, and says, these are nice. I mean, It's last century's fashion though, so they unless it comes around again, I really don't see a lot. I could give you how many dresses are there,
I
Dylan?
have 5 in total.
5 in total. So he says, "Oh, I could give you maybe 600 for the lot."
I'll say to him, last century. Would that not mean vintage? Do you not have a market for that here?
Oh, it's a collector's market, and there are not many Drow collectors around here, as I'm sure you can see. And well, just you know how they are back at Menzo Baranzan. They have to keep up with the latest fashions.
I do believe that these would sell mighty. What's the word? And sell for a much better price than.
Just as a thing, wasn't it the case that they would sell for way more on the surface?
Yeah, but they're useless on the surface. If they're in direct sunlight for an hour, they're just a dress.
But that's what I was saying. Like that's why you could sell them, to somewhere like on the surface for quite a lot more.
Yeah.
Because they're
I'm
exotic.
just-
That's what was said.
Yeah.
Yeah, with your insight though, you're looking at this like this guy is hustling you to a certain extent. You're not really sure how to tell like how hard, but he's a shrewd merchant. He's definitely he's
a
definitely lowballing
businessman.
you. Yeah.
Yes. Come on, mate. I'm not here to play games. I am looking to spend some coin as well. And
Very
I
well.
would be happy to work something out with you, if possible. But
Interesting.
I
Well,
would not take anything less than, say, 350 gold apiece.
you Dylan, you making me do maths.
350
Times
times
five?
5
Yeah,
is
1700.
1750.
Okay, yeah. He sort of balks and is like, in drowsy. Oh, by the Spider Queen's thorax, that's ridiculous. That's moonlight robbery. Do you think we are made of coin down here with the taxes we pay to the Underking itself would ruin me if I bought these from you at that price? I appreciate your, a kin of mine, but I couldn't do more than 1,000 gold all up without leaving myself destitute.
Would you take? I'm willing to work something out here. If you're happy to work with me on this.
Mm-hmm.
And how good are you at fashioning cloaks of exotic nature?
We are some of the best. I trained for 30 years at Linen Magvir to become the best at my craft. What is it you had in mind?
I will just very hush hush. I'm not going to pull it out of my pack, but I will open my pack and reach in and just show the Displacer Beast hide. And say, I'm looking to make something with this.
Oh. And you're looking to use some of this creature's nature, is that right? Retain some of its nature in the garment?
That would be the plan.
I think it'd be doable. If you give us in exchange for the silks, and perhaps give us 24 hours, we think we could make something to your liking. Is it for you?
It is for me.
Okay.
I would like it in a similar style to the cloak I am wearing now. Just darker.
Yes.
And I would also like
and a DM voice in your head says you could wear one and not both.
Yes, I was going to say I would also like to make an alteration to the cloak that I am currently wearing.
Yeah, we can do alterations.
Did Winfred follow me in?
No, Winfred sort of followed you toward the town, and then started veering off toward the ship.
Okay. I will just I'll just disregard that. Because I don't have his measurements, so I couldn't give measurements to Drow Taylor. I would say, is there any way that we would be able to get this done in less than 24 hours, or is that set in stone? Will it take that long?
We can see what we can do if, but it, you can have it done well, you can have it done cheaply, or you can have it done quickly. Choose two.
Okay. 24 hours should do. If done sooner, I will be at.
We really need to be out of here before 24 hours.
Yeah. We got more than that. We had
No, we don't.
we had over a week.
we still have like another at least another 2 tasks we need to get done.
Yeah, it's fine.
With like 4 days to do it.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Fucking Sorn's a magic man, all right? You got fancy feet.
He's like, yeah, you know what you need to do? After killing that baby dragon, I just really need a nice coat. Yeah, that'll make me feel good.
Yeah, I'll put
We
the
all handle-
semblance of a baby dragon on it.
We all handle our grief in different ways.
Sorn's just getting his list done because Sorn is
I'm going to let you
vengeful.
guys do your free time things. I'm just going to go get dinner out of the oven.
Okay,
So
cool.
is
Yeah,
it- Sorn's vengeful. He's not happy. He's just been played by a dragon.
Yeah.
So that's where he is. So he's handling a few things that he thinks he
I know
needs
it's
to
just
handle
it's just
before.
you and Winfred are just very easy targets right now. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just say, okay. Trying to think. I believe that we have to be out of here. If you can get this done quickly, if you can get this done in, say, half the time,
Mhm.
I would put forward a 500 gold tip.
very good, sir. We shall endeavor to impress.
Okay, and I just say to him in Elven again, very, very stern across the table. If you wrong me, if you play me, I will be back. And you don't want me to come back. Not in that way. You want me to come back to collect happily. You want to make a happy customer of me. I've
Give
not
me
had the day
a
for this.
intimidation check, please.
That's
If you
21.
fail this, he's gonna like.
It's 21. I'm good at intimidation. I'm a charisma-based character.
Yeah, so his sort of like calm, smug demeanor flickers for a moment as you make that promise, and his sort of haughty demeanor sort of cracks a little bit, and he says, and he sort of looks down at the flame on your lapel as well, and sort of takes the silks, and is very, very good, sir. Of course. Where shall we have them delivered to?
I will be back in 12 hours. I will come to you. If I am not here in 12 hours, I have a ship. It is called La Floridita. Have it delivered there, courtesy of Sorn. And I will reach out to shake his hand. Like the intimidatingness of me has passed. I'm back to being friendly. I'll shake his hand and say thank you very much.
Yep. He shakes your hand and kind of bows low as he shakes it, and he starts yelling at you. Notice that there's a number of other drow sort of in the back rooms, and he starts sort of yelling at them to get moving and stop what they're doing, and starts handing them he hands them the leathers, the hide that you've brought, and a bunch of the silks as well. And as you leave, you can see that it's a hubbub of activity around this new job that they've received.
Okay. And then I'm just going to. I will walk out of here. I'll mark off the gold as well. Just marking everything off out of my inventory now, so I don't forget. Cool, that's done. I just want to find out more about these the books and spell books and that sort of stuff, and
Sure.
that elven gold piece while I'm here. I want to find out if there's anything that's worth that. And the other thing, I also want to find someone that looks like they would know what the boomcree is and show them the drawing and try to buy some more cartridges for that.
Okay. I'll pop that on hold for just a moment as we'll transition to Pauly in an alleyway throwing up. The denizens of this city hardly notice you. Obviously, you're sort of isolated in the alleyway. There's sort of a Duragar sitting on the ground in the filth, just muttering to himself. I told him, Millennium-handed shrimp, bugger it, I told him. As you sort of throw up into a garbage pile a bit further ways down the alleyway.
Once like my stomach's empty, I'm gonna look at that dwarf. And does that dwarf have any booze on him?
Sure. Yeah, there's sort of he's holding some sort of cheap looking ceramic earthenware something, and there's certainly a sort of a paint stripper-esque kind of smell coming from it.
Perfect. I'm gonna steal it.
Okay. Give me a sleight of hand.
I might have to get a roll it again. Like my foundry isn't. Oh, actually no. Maybe it will work now.
Yep.
There you go. 16.
Yeah. So easily, are you subtle about it, or are you just walking up and just snatching it from him?
I'm snatching it.
Yeah, so you grab it easily. He sort of sees you come up and he's like, I told him the bird thing, the Millennium-handed shrimp, Dawn guy, I told him. And then you just grab the industrial cleaner from out of his hand, and he just keeps going on. He's sort of looking at you, still muttering and yelling, but his tone really doesn't change at all. He's kind of still trying to reach out for it, but he's not standing up or anything. I saw him, I told him, I seen him, I told him, the Millennium-handed strip, the duck man.
I'm going to have as much, I'm going to have as much as I can handle in like one big swig.
Okay. Give me a constitution check.
Sure.
Yeah,
Not
not much. You take a huge swig of this stuff and just, I don't know, birds have ear canals, right? Whatever wax you had in that ear canal running out your ears. I think at least one of your feathers just pops out of the, making that bald patch on the back of your head slightly bigger. And yeah, tears are streaming down your eyes, although they may have been already thanks to the smog and the emotions and the retching. But now you're retching for sort of another reason. There's sort of this ungodly burn in the back of your throat and mind. You're not instantly sort of floored or by any means, but the room is swaying to a certain extent, and you don't have very good footing at the moment.
I'm going to put the bottle back down next to him, and then also leave. 1 second. I'm going to leave. Sorry, I was going to my inventory.
Pretty sure Pauly gets healing every time he has an alcoholic beverage.
Oh yeah, is that a thing?
I do. Yep. Yeah, I do.
Okay. Well,
I got it.
From that little amulet that you gave him during the charity stream.
I'll let you invoke that.
Yeah. I'm gonna just give him a gold and just put a gold on the fucking, like on his lap.
Yeah. You go to put it on his lap, but sort of just like drop it next to where he is because you're seeing triple right now.
Yep. Perfect. Gonna keep walking.
Cool.
And basically just go in like an aimless direction and try and steal more alcohol.
So you start making your way closer towards the more din of the marketplace and the throng of people. Meanwhile, we have Winfred and Chewie making their way back to the ship. Are you stopping on the way, or is it just straight to La Floridita?
I'm just gonna go straight back to La Floridita.
Mm-hmm. So you back on you see the ship and you see the crew, the zombie crew, loading up what appear to be sort of big crates, just sort of slowly making their way up the gangplank with a and as you return. Sorry.
Can I see Kingston anywhere?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's not on the deck of the ship.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a look around for Kingston, and I'm gonna head below deck to where I've sort of like set up camp in the boat.
And if you like, because we never actually addressed it, and I don't think Winfred would have forgotten this, but I assume he brought the other bears with him too.
I mean, when we teleported, I brought Chewie with me, but after that whole fracas with Pauly,
yeah,
I kind of imagine that like he has a lot more on his mind at the moment.
So he left the black bear and the brown bear.
The polar bear and the brown bear, yeah, they were both in the caves, but they weren't really following. I know that they were following very loosely, but like, yeah.
Yep.
It's the same with the owlbear. Like they were sort of indifferent about Winfred's involvement. So I've just sort of got Chewie in tow, and we're best buds now. He's sort of like walking next to me like a little puppy dog.
Mm-hmm.
And Winfred's going to go back to the ship. He's going to go back to he's going to like, if you want to interrupt at any point, he goes to the ship. He wants to go below deck. Back to like where he's set up camp, because that's where he feels like the closest he can get to home, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, from memory, in fact, and not just from memory, I'm going to just cheekily look at the map so I can remember where his. If memory serves, his place was kind of like near the kitchen. Is that right? He had like a little setup spot near the kitchen that I think Splod would do a lot of cooking for him or something.
It was like, I think it was below the kitchen.
Sure.
I think it was like in like the lower deck bit, because it was really dark and cool.
Yep. So like in the lowest deck, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. At the front of the ship, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So you make your way down the stairs. The ship is relatively quiet, apart from the sort of shuffle of the zombies. Kingston doesn't, rush up to greet you or anything, and you make your way down into the hold. There's a lot more stuff down here now, presumably loaded by the zombies. From memory, I think there was a big sort of sarcophagus down in this thing. And the boat kind of came with that.
There was a bunch of stuff down there. I'm pretty sure you shared the space with Emir from memory, but like, yeah.
Yep. And cool. All right. So you make your way down to the bowels of the ship, and sort of just hang out there. What do you do while you're down here?
Winfred starts taking stuff out of his pouches and his pockets, and he starts just like putting it in boxes. And I want to try and find a piece of parchment somewhere, and instead of like dipping like a quill in the ink, I want to like dip my claw in it, like, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah,
but first you have to help Chewie get down to the bottom part of the ship, because it is the sort of ladders that go down there, not necessarily stairs. And there's a comical moment where Chewie's trying to fit his fat butt down the.
I'm gonna safely say and be like, Chewie, you can hang out up here. I don't think you're gonna be. I don't think you're gonna fit down there, but I'll be back in a moment.
Yeah, or he has to wait until the decks are all opened up and he can kind of be craned down with some of the other sort of heavier
yeah,
things.
I'm just gonna leave him on the deck of the ship.
Sure.
Up near the helm.
Yeah, he sort of sniffs and then kind of like growls, but doesn't attack the zombie crew and just kind of avoids them and makes his way to a sort of a corner of the upper deck.
Winfred sort of like pops his head back out and he goes, "Oh, don't mind them. They're brainless. They won't hurt you." And goes back downstairs.
All right, we cut back to Sorn. Doing some shopping, making your way around the marketplace. As you make your way through the crowds, seem to most people, just kind of do their own thing. Especially the Duragar kind of walked around like they own the place. Though you notice that occasionally when one of them sees you and how you're dressed, you can see sort of their eyes snap to your lapel, to your cool band patch.
Yeah, my sick patch.
The sick patch. They saw that you were at that tour, and they give you a bit of a wide berth. In fact, one time you see the only time you see someone like not notice it is when they're just walking forward, and there's a Duragar kind of just raving at out loud as he walks through the marketplace, and one of his companions sort of sees you and then kind of grabs him and pulls him out of your way as you march forward through the marketplace.
I'll just nod at the one that's like moved him out of the way. I'll just nod to them, not in like a threatening way, just a thank you. Got to keep an air of importance if everyone's getting out of my way.
Yeah. You nod at them, but they don't seem to be making eye contact with you. It's sort of like if they see that, they kind of look away and make way.
Okay. I'll walk and just for a while and just look for like a magic shop or a library or something along that, or even a temple if there's one nearby as well. Anything that would pique my interest when it comes to books and knowledge.
Yep. You find you come across a shop. Let me just double check my naming of it here. Yes. So you find a shop, and it has the name out the front of it of the Bookworm's Treasure Hoard.
I'm gonna walk in and.
But worm is spelt W-Y-R-M.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk in. Just standing as tall as I can. Try to look as professional as possible, and just say, I like the play on words, and just tap at my lapel.
Yeah, a scaly figure turns around. He's got sort of almost like an alligator-esque kind of nose, definitely like a snout, but with gold-rimmed spectacles, sort of right at the end of the snout, super far away from the eyes themselves, and he says, yes, welcome to. It is very clever, and not all of the Duragar see the play. Well done to you, Drow, sir, for catching it. How can this all help you today?
I want to just say, okay. I want to say I've found these tomes. I believe they are tomes. In my travels recently, from some I acquired them in a very distasteful means from some attackers But I was wondering if
there are plenty of attackers in the Underdark, Nefer, but we ask no questions here at the Bookworm's Treasure Hoard. But let's take a look. And he reaches into sort of his cloak, and on a gold chain is another set of spectacles that he puts between the first pet of gold rimmed ones and sort of a larger set, almost creating sort of a magnifying effect. As he says, let's see, and he ushers you over to a book podium kind of thing, and clears some things out of the way for you to put it down. And while as he does that, he sort of clasps his hands behind his back and kind of peers over at whatever you're putting down.
I will first take out a dwarvish. It's a notebook, but I couldn't read it, so to me, I think it's a tome of some sort. So I'm going to hand him that and just say, "What can you tell me about this?"
So to refresh Dan, the DM's memory, where did you get this dwarvish notebook from?
That I believe the notebook came.
I mean, great book, great movie. We love it.
Yes, fantastic. We got that from the cave where the bears were being held, and the soul blades were in there. One of them had the notebook, and Pauly threw it at me, or threw it to me.
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know who it came off of. I just got handed a book. And if that's just a notebook, that's fine. I'll just toss it. I think it came with the copper tube as well.
Oh, from the maybe the alchemist area, I think.
Yeah.
That wasn't the alchemist area. It was the mage one where we got the bears.
Where you got the bears?
The cup. Yeah. Okay. So the notebook. Disregard the notebook. Just disregard that. That was obviously much earlier because I don't have any description for it. But I will pull out. There
was a book with the copper tubes though.
Yes, I've got that one as well. I'm leaving that one till last because that one might go down very poorly and I might get kicked out. So I'll pull out the tube and there was a piece of paper, I believe. Yeah. Okay. I'll pull the scroll out of the tube and say, "What can you tell me about this?" It looks to be some strange writing. It could be names. It could be. I'm not sure.
Yes. And he sort of takes it from you carefully and looks it over and says, "Yes, this is a list of names and what appears to be a spell of well, I said we don't judge here, sir, and I believe that perhaps you don't know what you have here, but it is a spell of controlling. I think a curse would be more accurate. And now, did you give it to him just with the? You didn't give him the pouches, did you? Just the.
No, yeah. I have. Just the paper.
Just the yeah. He says this is notes on in the margin that you can make out the runes here. If I may direct further attention to the scribbles in the margins, sloppy work, if I may say so. The notes here appear to be some kind of curse or control spell, and these names are actually these are names in giant. You can make out this here is this one is well known in the community here in the city of Grim, Dohrun, of course, and Hagram, or of Hagram. You can see here named as one of the Stone Speaker's apprentices.
Okay, where might I be able to find these giants? I would like to bring this to their attention.
Of course, they have their own quarter in the city. You can, of course, get an audience with them. They're in the Cairngorm Caverns, sir, just over on the south side of the city. Usually, outsiders are not welcome to walk around, but I imagine that will not be a problem for sir.
I'd imagine so. I'll take that back and just roll that up, put it back in the tube, and pop that back away. And then I do have one other book, and I'm sorry if it offends you in any way, but I'll pull out the lizard skin spellbook. And then I picked up, or that Pauly picked up. After that was the lizard skin spellbook was from the obelisk.
Yeah,
Like the
from the people of the obelisk. I remember that one. Yeah. His eyes behind the two sets of spectacles go a little bit wide, and he says, "Well, sir, I have seen things like this before. It is not pleasant. But no more upsetting than perhaps elven-skinned." Cloaks, of course, begging your pardon, sir. So this here is it appears to be a journal. It's written in All Young Darrow, a offshoot of Durgar Undercommon, if you will. I'm not surprised that Sir wouldn't know the writings. Being a man of class and taste, you wouldn't, of course, you wouldn't have learned this language. But this is a unfortunately, sir. Yes, looking here, it is not magical of any kind, but it appears to be a ledger of thoughts. Mostly these entries here, you see on the left-hand side, it says there's an item, and then and on the other side over here, there is what appears to be a balancing of items, or some entries that refer to coinage. There are no dates I can see, so purely the work of a madman and not a real scribe. A scribe. And some of these entries do appear to be in different handwriting, but this one in particular does have a little bit more description, mentioning a miraculous appearance of a coin of sorts, which is odd because no other entry of coinage seems to have this special attention.
As that the coin is mentioned, I'll pull out the elvish gold piece as well and say, does it describe the coin? Because I found this.
Yes,
With it.
that appears to yes, a miraculous one. And this one in particular, a very old coin. Seems to be made from the begging your pardon, so the surface elves. Uh, from perhaps before the split, even coinage from that period of time, of course, is very rare. You have quite the collector's item.
How much would something like this be worth?
To the right buyer, somewhere in the realm of I could say
I'll be back in a moment.
2,000 gold pieces. To the
Whoa!
to the right collector, someone interested in ancient Elven. Not many of those around, I'm afraid, but they do exist. And unfortunately, all of my contacts are usually a little bit more interested in pages and tomes, so I could not help you with that one, sir.
Okay, I will say thank you very much. I will pick up the ledger And is there any way that I could remove the cover from it, like the lizard skin?
Yeah. So you could. If you remove the cover, it'll probably then just be a bunch of pieces of paper, right? Because that's kind of the thing
Yeah,
that
yeah,
holds
yeah.
them together.
Like I'd ask for like a wrap of some sort or just a piece of cloth. And I just want to remove the cover, and I want to hand the lizard skin over to
Very,
the
very good, sir. Perhaps
asking to.
may I throw you over here, and we can rebind the book with something a little bit more acceptable. And
and that's
he'll
what
take you over to sort of a bookbinding table. There's the smell of sort of fungus glues and dried papers. Yeah, he has a couple of different options. There's sort of a cardboard, sort of a very cheap looking whatever, and then there's some sort of more fancier kind of what appear to be underdark leathers and things like that of animals. He just says, take your pick.
I'm looking for something rather simple because it's of no import, this book, but something that will hold up just in case I do need it.
Very, very good. May I suggest the underdark diabats? The leather is well keeping and even partly water resistant. Don't go dropping the book in the lake, of course, but it should keep off moisture.
And how much would something like that cost me?
For you, sir, with giving me this one, call it on the house. Happy to serve, sir.
I'll just pass him 1 gold piece as well, and just say thank you very much.
Very good, sir. Of course, any herald of Emberstad is a welcome here any time at the Bookworm's Treasure.
And then I would also ask their name, just in case I ever want to contact them again for any questions.
Sir, my name is Elithal.
How would I spell that?
It's Lisahaal.
Okay. At what was the shop name again, sorry?
The Bookworm's Treasure board.
All right, and I'll say thank you very much for your time. Been very, very helpful to me. And I'll just make my way out of the store, and I'm just going to wander for maybe a couple hours. Just wander and process what's happened. Maybe go find an inn or a tavern and have a drink.
Cool. As you make your way towards the tavern,
left.
People still making their way, getting out of your way, and so on. We cut to the opposite happening to Pauly. He's stumbling through the city streets, but getting sort of pinballed around as people don't get out of his way, and the short, stout forms of these Duragar body checking him back and forth. Did we lose Winfred?
We lost Jakub, yes.
Oh.
I think he might have crashed. His camera crashed for a little bit there.
Yeah. It's completely squiffed my overlay. Thanks, Jakub.
I'm going to try and pickpocket some rowdy dwarves if they have any booze on them.
Yeah. Get rid of the overlay entirely until we get him back. All right. Give me a... Oh, here he is.
Sorry, everything crashed.
Yeah, we thought so.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to 86 the pickpocketing thing. I'm just going to go find a bar.
Okay. You make your way down closer towards the docks and towards the, even on the air, through the smell of the furnaces and the smithies, through the dark, dank smell of the Underdark, Pauly's beak can pick out the smell of fermenting fungus, and you make your way to the Dark Lake Brewery.
Awesome.
Takes you a little while though, because you're a bit unsteady, and you are kind of making your way. You're essentially making the long way around as you're still a bit sea legs aren't doing you any favors at the moment.
And then when I get to the bar, I'm just going to slam down a platinum piece and go, I want a 6-pack of rum. Surface if you got it.
The Duragar in this place kind of all look at you, and I assume obviously you've said this in common, and one of them sort of barks something in Undercommon, and there's sort of like a chorus of laughter throughout the place, and the bartender sort of slides would you say a platinum piece?
Yep.
Yep. Out from under your wing or your hand, and and pulls out sort of 6 6 wooden tankards, and start sort of pouring 6 glasses.
Awesome. I'm gonna down the first one, but I'm like, at the same time as downing it, I want to eye out the one who barked out something.
So it's sort of like the number 2 behind the bar, who's doing the bartender thing of polishing a glass.
Is he just looking smug as shit?
Yeah. He's
Cool.
looking at you, and he's just sort of given the like, oh yeah, here we go, kind of. We got another one, boys. Sort of look at the other patrons.
Perfect. All right. So down the first one. I'm gonna hand out 3 beers to just random dwarfs, or three whatevers,
Mhm.
3 whatever I've got to some random dwarves. However, the last one I've got, and I'm gonna down that too.
Well, roll a D100 for me, please.
Sure. $29.
You feel sort of a warmness in your bones. You're feeling sort of enriched. Perhaps something from the calcium-rich stalactites that this fungus gin has been growing on. But you feel sort of a smile go across your beak. It's brittle like glass, but you're looking happy, and it's and more welcoming. For the next for the next hour, you have a +4 to persuasion. But if you fail a persuasion check, it may not go well.
I'm going to glass the second in command.
Okay.
It's very persuasive.
I'd like to think that you've drunk 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
What has happened to the other 4? You handed. So
I handed them out.
You handed the other 4 out, and then with one of your empties, you've just.
Fucking smashed it across his head.
Yep.
Sconed him.
Give me an attack roll, please.
Sure. What do you want me to do?
Just give me as you would normally.
Unarmed or Talon?
Talon's fine. I'll work it out.
$13.
13. Would he be? Just enough. This guy's not armored by any sense of the means, and you crack him on the side with with the glass, and he just sort of goes over. You haven't knocked him out by any means, but he goes over like a sack of bricks, and there's the sound of scraping stools and chairs and tables as a number of the other patrons stand up. And start. You hear sort of the sliding of metal and weapons. Meanwhile, and that is the scene that you come across, Sorn, as you enter into the establishment.
Perfect.
Okay.
As he enters, I'm gonna yell out, "Look, it's the Dragon Killer! You should have seen him. He fucking did it all. He made sure that dragon was dead. Oh, thank God we have the Dragon Killer here."
Sorn is just going to flash the lapel again and stand at pretty much standing at attention, just like up, shoulders back, very imposing looking as he's walked in and has just been berated by an emotional friend. Did after I thunderstepped everyone last week, how bloody is Pauly looking?
No, I'm fine because you used points to sort it out.
Oh yeah, you did give him a prayer of healing afterwards.
No, that was before.
I'm at 27.
So to recap from last week, I do remember you gave him a prayer of healing, then you thunderstepped away from them. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
You also used sorcery points to careful spell, so they wouldn't.
So they took half damage.
So they took half damage.
10.
Yeah.
So I'm not bloodied.
He's a little bit beaten up, but he's by no means looking terrible.
Good to know. I'll look around the room.
They sort of a lot of these Duergar are kind of in mid, weapon draw because they've all of a sudden they've seen you, they've seen what you're doing, and there seems to be something here that they don't have context for, and they're kind of waiting to see what happens next. As you kind of hear the groans of the guy who's slowly picking himself up from behind the bar.
Okay. I will.
I'm gonna keep going while he's walking up to me. I'm like, you should have seen the size of this dragon.
I haven't moved from the doorway yet.
Okay, you should have seen the size of this dragon, and I'm gonna pretend it's the size of the egg, and it was this big. Oh mate, he just made sure it died, and then just really just fucking pike it up, just drunkenly, just yelling, and I'm sad and mad at the same time.
I'll just look across the room and just stare at Pauly and just groan. There's a foul taste in my mouth from this. I'm not happy about this. Sorn's been trying to deal with the emotions that have come from this outcome. And we'll you see fire welling up in my hand, but he squashes it away. He's just, no, and he just turns and walks out of the bar.
Pauly's gonna follow and just keep berating him.
So the two of you walk
knowing that's a good exit out of a place before he gets in a brawl with like 50 dwarves.
Yeah,
even drunk.
Yeah, as Sorn turns on his heel and leaves, and then the rest of the patrons kind of see that Sorn's just leaving, they start to move towards you, Pauly, and then you without missing a beat, start walking towards berating Sorn, yelling after him like a spurned lover. And
yes,
yeah,
that's exactly it. Yep.
I'm going to make my way out of the bar.
Meanwhile, Sorn's making his way through the street away from you, and the kind of river of people part to avoid Sorn, but then they close around right behind him, so you keep having to push through people to keep berating him from behind.
Yeah, I'm gonna drunkenly fly, just hover over him and just berate him while I fly. I'm not flying well either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It is the poorest flying you'd have ever seen Pauly do.
Every now and then you go under a sort of a rocky outcrop, Sorn, and then Pauly has to go the long way around and catch up to you again. And he's obviously not he's flying DIY. He's FYI at the moment. FUI. Yeah.
Flying under the influence. Very good. As I go, I want to do imagine an Assassin's Creed. Put my hood up. As I go under an outcropping and through a crowd of people, I don't want to just make a stealth check. I'm just gonna disappear from this. I can't. Like, Sorn cannot be bothered.
All right. Well, I think this is going to be a con test. Pauly, give me a. If you would like to, keep berating him, I'm going to require.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to require a
Perception?
Perception to catch him. Yeah.
10. That's fair.
That's pretty fair. And I've put my hood up, so I have advantage on my roll. God damn it!
So you put your hood up and make your way sort of under an outcropping. Paul, you easily sort of you've seen these moves. He zigs when he should have zagged, and you lose him for a minute, but then you're able to sort of you find him again. He's the only one wearing that super cool cloak. Everyone else's cloak just isn't as cool. And so
straight up, just still yelling nonsensical things like make way for the baby dragon killer.
I'm going to find a building, a nondescript building. I'm going to walk in and apologize to anyone inside and just say a gold piece to each of you if you leave now.
Sure. Yeah. So there's you go into a building that seems to be sort of a small coffee shop equivalent or something, and you go in as everyone else is kind of. You pay. Let's say you pay 5 gold, and the other patrons all leave.
Yeah. Done. And I walk over to the counter as well to.
Sure. Do you follow him in, Pauly?
I want to just speak to the owner, the proprietor, and just say, just hand over another, say 9 gold pieces, and just say for any damages you may incur.
He sort of takes the coin, hefts it a bit, and then sort of shrugs and goes back into the back room. You see him start taking like some of the good coffee beans off the top shelf.
I'm just gonna go to this table up at the top and sit with my back to the wall.
Yeah. Paula, you see
I'm gonna throw a chair through the window.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
a crash.
Straight up, just throw a chair. Yeah.
A crash of stained glass follows or precedes a chair that comes flying out of the window into the thing. The people in the marketplace in the Blade Bazaar kind of look at it and kind of just give it a wide berth. One or two kind of stop to look in for a moment, but then kind of just keep going. Like, this is not the weirdest shit they've seen, I think.
I'll let out
Pauly
a yell.
strutting around inside like a rooster inside the cafe. Some of the
yeah, I'm just kicking down tables.
One or two of the chairs you try and kick over are made of stone and are just like actually part of the ground, not even bolted to the ground, like
carved into it.
Stone that has been formed into and melded into the floor. So
I'm trying to like flip tables and I'm like just straining.
Yeah, and so when you can't flip the table, you just like push off the napkin holder.
Yes. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. Perfect. And yeah, I'm just gonna like kind of just try to destroy as much things as I can in this place. And then once I've calmed down a little bit, I'm gonna sit down. Before I sit down, I'm gonna make myself a coffee.
Yep.
Just walk behind the bar, make myself a coffee, and go, Sorn, do you want one?
No.
All right, I'm gonna bring my coffee over to sit with Sorn.
Yeah.
I think
still very drunk.
I think I had a bottle of wine. I think I had a bottle of elven wine that I bought at some point.
You pull it out now.
I'm just gonna pull that out and start drinking it from the bottle.
They're just like, yeah, still very drunk. Go, what the fuck?
We were played.
It's not we were played. You should have listened to me. You should have trusted me.
Yes, but my instincts with dragons
were wrong.
Every dragon I have ever had any dealings with or known of have been protective of their young.
But this one wasn't. And I said to you that this didn't feel right, and I knew that we could have done this. I mean,
This wasn't
fuck,
right.
that child would have that child would have been raised better with us.
This wasn't right. But it doesn't mean that this is over. We can come back.
We're going to fucking kill him.
Oh, we absolutely are. And this is where I start telling Pauly of like what I've been doing the last couple hours, of just getting things, trying to gather.
All right. The second you tell me you go shopping, I'm going to try and break more things.
No, I'm just gonna say I've been amassing things and gathering.
Yeah. No, I know.
That we
No,
need.
I know. Can we just
Timmy knows
just
this,
for
but
fun?
Pauly
Yeah.
is like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
No, like I'm gonna get angry again. Like I'm not gonna throw anything at you because I don't agree with hurting friends as a whole. You know what I mean? Like it's just like like after the whole thing with Ymir, I just don't like Pauly now believes that isn't the answer. Right? So I'm gonna destroy everything else around here and then calm back down, make myself another cup of coffee, and then sit back down and go shopping. Right. We all grieve in certain ways.
Gathering provisions, not shopping.
Whatever. take a sip of coffee.
Dawn's sitting there like daintily sipping his wine out the bottle whilst just like pieces of furniture fly by him from off screen.
Just smashing on the wall behind me. I'm just like, I'll look across the table because I don't see Pauly's token.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's all right.
All right, yeah, I'll look across the table at Pauly and say, "Have you calmed a little bit now?"
No, Winfred attacked me. It's not.
We will.
None of
deal
this
with
is okay.
that.
None of this day was okay. He attacked me for the wrong reasons. He's not okay, and whatever's going on with him. I mean, have you seen the magic he's been throwing off? It's getting worse.
I'll defend Winfred at this point. I'll say, shortly before all of this, Winfred saw some of his, while they may not be exact kin, but some of his, we'll say, long-distant cousins enslaved. He's reacting emotionally, but I'm sure you would too. I know I would. We need to have a talk, but that is all it will be. We are having a talk when we get back to the ship.
Look, I don't know right now if I can forgive either of you for what that happened.
Not
If
asking
you
for forgiveness.
if either of you had just trusted me for even 5 to 10 seconds, I knew what was right, and it was not to give it back to the dragon. Dragons are not anything but evil.
But what if the roles were reversed and we went with your plan? And the dragon were to die?
The dragon egg would still be alive.
But what if it wasn't and we went with your plan? Then it would be on you. This was a mistake.
And I could accept it fully if it's on me. The fact that I have to now doubt my friends and their wisdom is worse than me being wrong.
Yes, and how do you think it feels for both Winfred and I?
I just wish you guys trust me.
I do trust you. But there were two heads that thought one thing and one that thought the other. And if we are a group of people, we go with the majority. Not in all cases, but in big decisions, I believe we should go with the majority.
I'm gonna go start breaking like whatever's left.
There's like not much. There's like a few, like chopsticks, one bowl. yeah. There's a couple of
just snaps the chopstick and sticks back down.
There's a couple of metal straws that you just you can at best bend like a little and then throw them.
Make them bendy metal straws.
Nice iron straws.
Yeah. Oh, they're very environmentally conscious here.
Oh, very good, very good.
I'm gonna pick the chair I threw up through the window and then break it through the other window.
Jesus Christ. I'll get up. I'll walk over to Pauly. I'll place a hand on his shoulder and I'll say, I am sorry. This is not how I saw this day going. And then I'll walk back out here and I'm going to throw the owner another 5 gold because this got really out of hand.
Yeah, he's looking at his place very arms crossed, unimpressed fucking look on his face. Not saying anything. He's still holding the 9 gold you gave him before, I think. And then you hand him 5 more and he kind of weighs it and kind of goes okay, and just sort of is still standing there leaning against the wall watching.
I'll look to Pauly with and just say, we're leaving. Please don't break anything else. This has
I'm gonna
cost me enough.
I'm gonna break the teacup that I had in my hand.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
The dregs
Sorn.
of the scalding hot coffee that you've just go over your hands.
Yep.
Now he smells like turpentine and coffee.
Oh, God. It's not a good smell.
and fungus gin.
And fungus gin, yeah.
I'll, as best I can, see Pauly out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not going like fully willingly. I'm like belligerent.
Yeah, I know.
I'm the epitome of belligerent.
You're like me on a Saturday night when I get told to go home.
Yes, exactly that.
Miss Lovelock made a very great comment in the chat of Iron Straws, environmentally conscious but anti-Fae, because Fae hate cold iron. I think that'd be like quintessentially a Duragar bar would have that.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Didn't make that
so
connection.
I'll see Pauly out. As difficult as it is.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start sobbing. Like literally, like I've gone to like the sad drunk stage. Now that we've actually left the place, I am fucking sobbing.
So we cut back.
I'm making a scene.
Yeah. So there's sort of a fade out as Pauly and Sorn. Pauly like using crying into Sorn's shoulder. Ugly, and it's. I assume it's ugly. Like it's ugly.
It's hideous.
Yeah,
it's ugly crying. Like it's loud.
It's
There's
snotty.
Yeah, it's like powder in Arcane. Just
Yeah.
Don't leave me.
Do birds have snot?
No,
this one you don't even know where it's coming from. It starts coming out of orifices. Maybe it's the mushroom gin.
There's bits of the gin.
Just as we leave, I just want to say to the people that I like, how many of the people that I've handed gold to are still out front?
Oh, there's like 3 of them left out the front. I think 2 of them maybe walked off. 1 or 2 of them, the 2 of them are kind of like looking on interestedly, of like, what the hell was that about? When they see you come out, and obviously they see how they take you in, they all kind of stand back and give you plenty of space.
I just want to say to them, can you please help the owner tidy up a bit of this?
They kind of look around. One of them's like, for a moment, goes to kind of go like, what the fuck did you say to me, Drow? But then his 2 mates kind of grab him and usher him inside.
Yeah. And then we'll walk away. Can fix your problems with gold.
We cut back to Winfred curled up in the base of the ship in the bilges. What you doing down there, buddy?
I sent you a message on Facebook Messenger, Dan. I'm not sure if you've seen it or not.
Okay, sorry. No, I'm so in the zone. So deep in it.
My bad.
That's all right. No, not at all. Let me double check it now. Okay. Yeah. Right. Cool. You're happy for me to cut back to them then?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, cool. All right. The 2 of you make your way back to the docks. You're heading back to the port.
I'm letting Sorn lead me now. I am fucking just a mess.
Yeah, I will accompany Pauly back to the ship. Roughly how much time has passed since I left the tailor?
We'll say probably like an hour, right? Like you've been wandering around, you've been checking out the bookstores and so on. I think it's probably fair to say like an hour's passed.
Okay.
What time is it actually?
I just pulled up. We've got a calendar here, so it's 11:40, as far as you can tell from the great. There's a big stone pillar that has what appears to be kind of magma flowing up it, highlighting that it's almost kind of midday. It looks like the magma will kind of get to the top of this. It's obviously magically making its way up, almost like a thermometer, and then there's sort of a track for it to make its way back down again.
Right.
Judging by the time, I'll just say to Pauly, we cannot leave yet.
Oh, is this because of your shopping?
Benefits us all. Sorn's just emotionless at this point.
And then just says like doesn't benefit the baby dragon that you and Winfred killed.
It benefits vengeance, which is just about all we can do at the moment. And I'll guess I will step onto the ship. Do I notice anything on the ship? Anything different? Is Chewie around? Can I give him a little attempt to give him a little scritch?
I don't think you see Chewie on the deck. Do you? Do they, Jacob?
No.
No. Okay. So yeah, you don't see Chewie. You do see the zombies sort of slowly, still like loading what appears to be the last of some cargo onto the ship itself. There's a short Duragar woman kind of standing on the docks, kind of arms folded, watching them. And as she sees you two come up, she's like, "Oh, you guys, your weapon shipments all done. We handed it off to your captain or whatever, and these guys have been loading it on. We're about done here."
Awesome. Thank you for that. And I want to just give her a gold piece as well, just as a thank you for a job well done.
It's like, "Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, anytime you lot are in town, feel free to drop by. The if you don't mind my asking, what are you doing with all that? Some heavy weaponry there. You're off starting a war, are you?"
Ending one.
Yeah, right. Well, I guess none of my business then, I suppose. Hey, yeah, okay. Just don't tell a Duragar what's what. Sure, I get you.
No. If you like some details, it's just a.
Well, I mean, I was
bit
kind of opening the conversation with like giving you the opening to tell us what you're doing, and you just came back with a quippy reply. That's fine. I see how it is with Drow.
Terribly sorry.
You just wanted to sound fucking cool instead of actually giving me some info. Yeah, that's right. Like, I'm not the DM. I don't know everything.
Terribly sorry. We're amassing weapons and provisions and armaments for a battle with the Pudding King. He is threatening another town.
Haven't heard.
On the
I've
lake.
never heard of Pudding King. I mean, we got a Deep King. He's.
I'm sure they're nothing alike.
Yeah, as long as you're not going after him. I mean, he's like he's a bit loopy if you're between you and me, but you know, he keeps the place running. Well, that's exciting. Well, good luck with your Pudding King. I mean, if we'd known it was for a Pudding King, we would have outfitted you with a bunch of big spoons instead of all those acid-resistant swords and stuff. But each their own.
Do you have any spoons by any chance?
Well, no. I mean, you would have had to order that at the time.
Yeah.
I don't have any spoons on me. No.
Too bad. That's just too bad, I guess.
It won't work for my character right now, but could you ask her if she can make iron cartridges for guns?
I was already looking for that. But I'll pull out the before I pass by. I'll say one other thing. It's just jogged my memory, and I'll show her the drawing of the Boomkree, and just say, would you happen to know of anyone or anywhere that I would be able to get cartridges for something like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Yilsa might be able to help out. She's the boss. She'd kind of organize the one you organized this deal through. I mean, she does a lot of deals with the service world, but I haven't really seen anything like that down here. The Duragar stuff you usually get is a little bit more lumpy and solid. That thing kind of looks like a little bit more elegant. You might want to check out like a gnome city. I mean, that thing will probably break the first time you touch it. Honestly, it's probably not worth it. What you need is a big solid piece of metal you can just club someone over the head with.
I'll like flick my fingers and like a spark will come out. I was like, I don't need your metal.
Okay.
Like, but in like a playful way, not in a like being a dick kind of way.
Look
He's
at
like-
him. His hands do sparkle.
Actually,
Yeah.
no, I know what I'll do. Instead, magic, like, I would, like, hold my hand out and then an ethereal, like, lightning blade appears in my hand instead.
So, oh, yeah, that's cool. Shit, you're not one of the ghost blades, are you?
No, there's a purple. Mine is blue.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. So you're a good Jedi. Good to know.
Yes. Yeah, I got one of the good crystals.
That's right. Yeah. So as this conversation sort of winds up, you also notice the zombies are getting to the end of their dark work. They've loaded their burdens have been loaded into the hold, and they're beginning their task of slowly shuffling over and closing up the big holes that lead into the hold. No one's come up to greet you.
Yeah, while they're talking, I'm gonna go try and sneak in, and try steal, try find Thorendir's stash of fancy booze.
Mm-hmm.
Just try to do that sneakily first off. I'm not even looking for anyone yet. I have more things I have been.
I'll keep an eye, just keep a side eye on Pauly to see where he's going.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not actually being sneaky. I'm thinking
yeah.
I'm being sneaky.
No, I'm just keeping track, so if I hear any commotion, I know where to go.
Cool. Well,
I want to fall down the stairs towards Thorendir's cabin.
Yeah, and as you kind of do the very gentle steps, but then this loud creaking, or gentle steps, and then you just your head thuds into his door as you try to reach for the handle to open it. And you kind of the door creaks open, and it's unlocked. You get a couple of steps in, and you hear the shuffling of cards. And as your eyes adjust to the gloom, you see a figure in a leather duster, leaning back precariously on two legs of the chair, a wide-brimmed hat resting on the table. You have you have something of mine. And that's where we're ending this week.
Awesome. You just don't want me to have this fucking gun, do you?
We have the plaids of the gun now, so we can make more eventually.
Yeah, but I want this one.
Got it from someone else.
Yes.
Oh god.
That was a good session.
That was a very good session.
Winfred got lucky that he stayed in the fucking cabin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorn got berated.
I mean, it's coming. It's fucking coming. I'm not going to say otherwise. Oh, no, very good session.
I think there was some interesting character building. There was some character destruction in terms of your hopes and dreams. But
Everybody now knows how we grieve.
Oh look, I sometimes just get on Amazon as well. I try and get that 12-hour shipping.
Exactly. That's what I was doing. Someone hasn't hit the grieving stage yet. He's just angry.
Got
to go through all of the stages.
Yeah, that's right.
Got to get through the stages.
Cool. All right, lads. Well, I guess we'll end it there. For everyone who was hanging out in the chat, thank you very much. I know Kate and Miss Lovelock and Badesh was chilling in there. I don't know what he was saying, but and there was actually a poll of what Ember Chad's reward would be, and 67% of people voted for the Gashapon tokens. So Kate did say,
what
why
do
can't
those tokens do, by the way?
We trade them for magical items at Fantasy Bunnings.
So Fantasy Bunnings has a Gashapon machine that you can put the tokens in to get a magic item.
Yeah, it's definitely worth the life of a baby dragon, guys. Good job.
4 magic items.
Yeah, absolutely. That's funny. We could get some wondrous items. They're priceless.
Yeah, oh yeah, sure. So's a life. So's a life of a baby. Yep,
Yeah, but
good
we're
point.
trading priceless with priceless, you know?
Yeah, baby life.
I think Timmy's a little bit salty here.
No, I know exactly what it was. That was the point. I don't think Pauly would want to take an item from that for that being the reward that it was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like the item would be dirty.
Oh yeah, it's definitely tainted.
Yeah.
He's hoping we get something cursed.
It'd be fitting.
Yeah, so that works. I thoroughly enjoyed this week, and
I did.
yeah, I was very interested to see how the decision would play out and what you were going to do. Obviously, yeah, I have fantasy bindings. Cool. I'm going to end the stream there. For everyone that was watching, thank you very much. If you haven't already, please hit like on the thing, or leave a comment in the actual comment section, because that, tells us that you like the thing, and we do more of the thing that you like. And I've heard it from Dylan specifically, words of a drow who cannot lie, that by clicking that button, you actually just get a serotonin boost and it makes your entire afternoon. It makes all the bad killing dragon stuff just melt away. So go give it a try, and 100% like back guarantee. I'll give you your like back if it doesn't work and doesn't erase all the badness of the last 2 hours.
Would I lie to you?
Would I lie to you? All right. Dill, are you back streaming again? What's your schedule looking like?
Yes. Most weeknights, whenever time permits, I generally start around 8 p.m. and go from there.
And you can find him at I am Dylan James on your screen there, and go check out his stream. Usually a lot of Apex, doing a lot better than I am. And Winfred, aka Jakub, aka Mr. Brightside, has an incredible TikTok, and as we mentioned before, one of them in particular is all about the fun you can have on a shitty roll. And I won't spoil it, but you should definitely go check that one out. It's a bit of a banger.
It was painful.
That's all from us tonight. We're gonna
it was funny for the rest of us.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious for the rest of you.
We're gonna get out of your hair, and thank you everyone for listening and watching. We'll see you all another time. Bye bye.
Goodbye.